Alright, YouTube and Fallout community. So, I threw a vote out on Twitter asking you guys if I should do this in one video or 3 different videos, and I didn't care either way. You know, it's cool to bring in, kind of, even if it's something as simple as voting, just people kind of coming in and give me, help with the channel a little bit, even if it's just something as simple as this. So I do appreciate everybody that voted. I do enjoy doing longer videos. It's just kind of more difficult for me because I have to make them on the Xbox. But, so yeah, this is the good, the bad, and the ugly of Fallout 4. There is obviously 2 negative, parts of this video because there's the bad and the ugly. So there is probably more negative things to say about the game in this video. That does not mean it's a bad game, and I try to do this from a generalized standpoint, not just biased, not just the things that I like, hate, and think are bad. So I guess with all that, it is December, guys, so I am somewhat sick. I apologize if I am coughing or making sounds that aren't me talking. Kind of can't help it. But let's get right into it. First up is the good stuff. First on my list of things that are good is the exploring. Their locations are so much more dense now, and they're so huge, and there's a lot of verticality, which is such a good thing about this game. There's so many tall buildings, and it seems like every time I'm in a location, I'll be exploring, and I'll come across, another staircase that leads down, up, locked door. There's just so many things that are hidden constantly in each location. I think that is really, really good. Next up is scavenging. There's items everywhere, and to transition from how big locations are, there's constantly items in pretty much every location. Even if it's something as basic as just a drawer that has something in it, there's just constantly items everywhere. And I thought that was, there's always been that, but there just seems like there's more of it. The combat system is highly improved in this game with it's more like a shooter now, which is awesome, and the ability to hotkey grenades as well, which just kind of gives it more of that shooter aspect. It just feels more fluid to me, and enemies actually get behind cover and everything is really, really cool. Looting, and what I mean by the looting, because it's kind of like the scavenging. Looting is that pop-up window whenever you hover over a dead body, or just, I guess anything when you're. I guess that kind of is the scavenging aspect of things. That window that pops up is really, really awesome, though it can be annoying. Sometimes I find myself trying to exit it, like it's the old window whenever you loot in the lockers and things like that. Hit B to try to exit, and I'll bring up my Pip-Boy, because I'm still getting used to it to this day. Leveling up fast, this is one that's kind of weird. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I noticed that it's super easy to level up in this game. Put it more on the positive ends of things because we all like perks. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is just me, if I'm just playing the game differently to where I'm leveling up easily, but to me that's a good thing. The no level cap, that's just kind of no explanation. Perks. The no level cap is a good thing about the game. Completing quests and feeling the effect. There's that, I can't remember the guy's name, but the dude that has a drug lab, and then there's you get the little mini quest to go to the insane asylum, you kill the mercenaries, and you meet up with a ghoul in Bunker Hill who it's oh, those are my guys. And then when you blow up when you go raid the drug lab, you meet that guy eventually in Good Neighbor, and he, it's just kind of cool being able to feel the effects of the quest, because it seems like every time you finish a quest in the older games, you kind of never hear about it unless it's the main quest. So I thought that was a really good aspect of the game. Another quest-based thing is the timed miscellaneous quests, the ones you get from the Minutemen. I don't know about the other factions, but the Minutemen will have you go check a location, go save them from some ghouls or something, go protect them. And if you don't do it after a certain point in the game, you will fail the quest. And I thought that was really awesome. I fail them a lot just because I don't really care to do them because there's other quests to do. But I thought that I always wanted timed quests in pretty much any games actually, because it's there's always that oh, we really need you to go over here right now. This is bad. This is, oh, they're getting raided. And then in game you're 100 days later you're oh, I guess I'll go do that quest. And they're still just waiting to be raided by those ghouls or whatever. So I thought that was a really good thing too. The variety of enemies is very, very good in this game. There is I don't know, 5 or more different variants to pretty much every enemy. They even have variants of the super mutant behemoth. That shit's crazy to me right there. When I found out there's not just the super mutant behemoths, but then there's legendaries and ancient super mutant behemoths and legendary ancient super mutant behemoths, just shit like that. There's a lot of variety to enemies, and that's always a good thing, so you're not fighting the same shit over and over. Something that they kind of took from Skyrim that I noticed is something at the end of a lot of locations, there's you find a chest, even if it's just a little steamer trunk or whatever they're called on here. You'll find a chest that just has items in it. Now something that was always cool about Skyrim is that when you get at the end of exploring a location, you will come across a chest, and it's kind of like you're just a reward, and it usually has pretty good stuff in it. You usually find 5 or 6 different ammos in this chest on here, so I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of rewards you for exploring. Being able to choose companion equipment was a big one for me. I hated in like New Vegas, and especially 3. 3 was a lot more linear than New Vegas was. You could you'd give them like a cool like gun or suit of armor, and they wouldn't always wear it because they kind of wore what they wanted to. If your the armor you give them was better than their base armor or whatever they had on before, of course they'd put it on. But most of the time they wouldn't wear what you want them to wear. Layered armor system. Excuse me. That was another good one. Like this is something I've wanted for a long time. This is because I love customization in games, and the ability to choose each arm, each leg, chest, head. Then like you can wear like an eye accessory. You can wear like a bandana over your face, and then you can also wear like your wedding ring or something. So like there's so many, and the bandana doesn't do anything. The glasses, like the eyewear, will give you other perks, like or other boosts, like up perception and things like that. So I really thought that the layered armor system was done well. Settlements was an awesome new addition. Definitely, it's like our version of like a Minecraft or something. It definitely has flaws, but I've spent hours just like in Sanctuary Hills, and so I thought that they did that pretty well. The story was really good. I did touch on this in a previous video. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it is their best story yet. So I think that it was definitely a positive thing about the game. The crafting is much better than New Vegas, and it can be a little repetitive, but I think it was really done well. There's a lot of different things to craft. You can cook, you can do armors, weapons, you can make grenades and like other shit. I just thought it was really good. Power armor is exactly like it should be. This is how power armor should have been in like all the other games. Something along these lines, and they kind of balance it with the fusion core, so that it's not like you can't just run out power armor forever. So I thought that it's overpowered, but that's kind of the point. Radiation was definitely better than it's ever been, and it's a very simple thing. It's simple as just instead of like cutting down on your stats, it's just like you have less health. That's all. That's all you needed to ever be, and and that alone made it better than it's ever been, in my opinion. The voice protagonist is pretty self-explanatory. I thought that was really good. It's nice hearing what you choose to say actually be said and be able to hear it. The map size is definitely good. I think we were all wanting something a little bit bigger because this is, like I think Todd Howard said, it's about the size of Skyrim. So, I definitely, next gen console, next gen only game, you would expect it to be bigger. And there's a lot of, I don't know, it's in the positive side of things because it is a better map. That I just think it could have been bigger. All right, transitioning into the bad things. First up is the No Explorer perk. I think it's called Explorer or Exploration, and that's the perk that shows you every location on the map. Now, I know that could technically be considered a little overpowered, maybe, but thing is, like I know that I've explored pretty much the majority of the map as far as I've been able to tell, and I still have a lot of locations to find because I think there's like at least 320, and I'm about 310, and like I don't even know where there could be other things. And this is just a big one for me. I've always used Explorer perk. I don't know how they'd incorporate it into the game, but I really would have liked to see it. No skills. What we have is pretty good. Like it's a good system, but I mean honestly, I think we all miss skills. It felt more. You felt more invested in your character. It's just like right now, I'm just like, I level up, I'll just throw a point in one of my perks, and I'll get back out and go fight. It was kind of nice looking at going down the perk list, looking like, wow, I need 50 in this or 60 in that, and you're trying to work towards that. It just felt more like an RPG because you're actually keeping track of your stats and things like that. To me, there's a few major locations. It seems like every location I come across in the game is just about it's a dead location with enemies, and that's about it. There's like, what is there, like Diamond City and Bunker Hill, Good Neighbor, and then like the faction locations, and everything else in the game is like small ass settlements or overrun with enemies. And like it is a wasteland, it is post-apocalyptic, of course there's gonna be bad guys everywhere, I get that. It just, I don't know, man, it seemed like the older games had more like human locations. The AI, they can be very, very stupid at times. They are better than the older AI from the other games, they are. But whenever I can walk up behind an enemy and they're still like, I think I hear something, and they're kind of like looking around, and like I'm just like standing right behind them, like my barrel touching their back. That can, I mean, it's something that they can probably fix in like some kind of a future update, and I know that other people have talked about this before. The dialogue will, to me, this feels like just 4 options constantly. It just feels less engaging. It feels like less of an RPG, and it feels pretty repetitive. And going back to the no skills, like that was always awesome. It's like, well, you go into this dialogue option, and you just happen to, I don't know, invest in explosives. And a dialogue option pops up that because of you having, 60 explosive, you get this dialogue option, and you get, whenever you have these like speech challenges, you get experience from it and things like that. It was really, really cool because it felt like if you invested in the right stats, you could get random dialogue options from people, and that just made the game, I don't know, it seemed just better to me. Waiting. Big one for me, the waiting system in this game. I talked about it before in a previous video about me like struggling to figure out how to wait and had to like look it up online. I get it though. I get that what it did, it made sitting useful. Sitting has never been a useful thing in this game, and I get why they did it. I just don't like it. Weapon holstering, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why do I holster my weapon in a Fallout game and I can't see it on my back? Rubber band system, I put this on the bad side of things for a different reason than people would expect. And for me, I started the campaign, or the story, whatever you want to call it, super late, and I walked right through it because all the enemies were low level. Because I didn't fight them when I should have, and to me that just kind of made things bad. I miss when enemies would have leveled with me. The radiation storms, this is kind of a small one, but they weren't as impactful as they kind of made it seem. They were kind of hyping them up, and they didn't mean anything. The crafting is on the bad side of things for a different reason, which is the weapon mods. To me, I feel like I'm putting the same weapon mods on everything. Unique weapons, and the reason why they're on here is I wish they had a unique look like New Vegas. New Vegas, a lot of unique weapons had their own specific look. Like, one would have like a camo on it or a certain design on the side. And I thought that was a really cool thing that they could have done with this. Companions are kind of bad at times. Mostly dogmeat. Dogmeat, like, will sometimes run ahead of you and like stop right in fucking doorways. And you're like sitting there like walking forward and he just just doesn't move. And I don't understand it. And like, the companions can just all around be dumb sometimes. And then there's a lot of empty locations on the map. If you go look at, like, say I have like 300 something locations discovered. I can go look at my map and see like, well, here's a circle of locations. There's an empty spot between them. I'm gonna go there and search around. I'll go there, and not only is there not a location there's not even like an unmarked location. Sometimes there's not even a building or like a trailer or anything to even loot. It's just wide open space, which is kind of weird. Like, it's almost like they were kind of lazy with the design on those locations, on those parts of the map. Okay, transitioning into what I feel is the ugly parts of the game. These are the really bad ones, possibly unforgivable. First up is again, unique weapons are an ugly one to me, and the reason why it is because I found out recently that every unique weapon's ability can be found in the wild on a legendary enemy, and that literally makes unique weapons fucking pointless. Like, they don't have their own special look, their abilities aren't special, they don't do more damage. Unique weapons are fucking pointless in this game, and I don't like that. There's no hardcore mode. This was a big miss on Bethesda's part. Huge part of New Vegas that I loved. I loved actually having to survive, having to eat food, having to sleep, having to drink water, or any kind of liquid hydration, whatever. And for them to not have this was just stupid. And their idea of survival, turning enemies on more difficult and healing slower, that no, hell no. Water, dear God, water. There's water everywhere, and it's all pointless. Why is there so much water, Bethesda? There's nothing to do with it. It's just there. Is there going to be a water DLC? Maybe. I doubt it, but it's ridiculous. How the 3 console games now, where water's fucking pointless? God damn it. I just don't understand it. The no NPC ticks on the radar. This one was a big one for me too. I talked about this in a previous video as well. The locations are a lot bigger, a lot more dense, a lot of like stories to locations. There's like 2 or 3, 4 stories to a location. And I don't understand why we don't have NPC ticks on the radar. Like, because there could be a guy, like, you could be walking, through every location. There could be a guy right around the fucking corner that would give you a quest, and you don't fucking know it. Or there might be, something like the random encounters, like where you can just find a guy in the wasteland, and there's like him and his friend talking about something, and you can like talk to them and just kind of whatever. Like those like random encounters, you could be missing out on those simply because you don't know that they're there. And I just don't understand why there was no NPC ticks on the radar. And last up, the big one, the big ugly for me, no karma. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they make a Fallout game and not have karma? That is one of the big parts of the Fallout game, is that even if you don't feel like your choices carry weight, the karma kind of makes them carry weight, because it's like, well, I just got a shit ton of bad karma. This was probably a pretty bad decision. That's another thing. You kind of don't know on here on some choices whether or not they're bad or not, and the karma system kind of told you that. And this feels like a Skyrim game, or an Elder Scrolls game, my bad. I'm just like, I'll steal everything, no consequences. So yeah, that's my list, guys. I probably missed some things. Let me know if you agree or disagree with a lot of this stuff. It's definitely possible that you did.